Throughout U.S. history, presidents haven't just lived under the glaring lights of international diplomacy and national policy. They've also found themselves in situations so odd they feel like entries in a comedic anthology of the absurd. That's right. Today, we're diving into some of the most bizarre and laugh-out-loud moments from the lives of American presidents. Buckle up, it's going to get weird. Andrew Jackson was famously fiery, but he took it to, let's say, gunslinging extremes. Legend has it that Old Hickory fought in over 100 duels. Yes, 100, and even carried a bullet in his chest for most of his life, thanks to one of those negotiations. His most famous duel, he shot a man who insulted his wife. Jackson attended the duel in his trademark reckless style, taking a bullet to the ribs before calmly pulling the trigger, and let's just say it wasn't a happy ending for the other guy. The White House may be the people's house, but for John Quincy Adams, it briefly became the reptile's house. Gifted an alligator by the Marquis de Lafayette, Adams thought, why not keep it in the White House bathroom? So for several months, the gator roamed an unused bathtub, probably terrifying unsuspecting staff. Modern presidents have their dogs. Adams had a walking jump scare. During the Great Depression, Herbert Hoover faced a lot of public scrutiny, so much so that he and the First Lady had a peculiar rule for White House housekeeping staff. If you see us, freeze. They instructed staff to stop, stand completely still, and pretend not to exist whenever the Hoovers were nearby. Imagine sneaking a cookie from the kitchen, only to be treated like a long-lost member of Medusa's art gallery. Silent Cal may not have been a man of many words, but he did have one peculiar hobby: riding his mechanical horse. Installed in the White House for exercise, Coolidge would buck and sway for hours, dressed in full cowboy gear, sometimes startling aides who entered the room. Imagine knocking on the Oval Office door and finding your president looking like he was auditioning for a rodeo. When electricity was first installed in the White House during Benjamin Harrison's presidency, the new technology wasn't exactly welcomed with open arms. In fact, Harrison was reportedly so terrified of being electrocuted by light switches that he refused to touch them. Instead, staff were tasked with turning lights on and off, which added presidential light switch duty to their resumes. LBJ was a man of, unconventional humor. His Cherokee County ranch had a personal amphibious car, which he loved to drive straight into lakes to prank unsuspecting passengers. Screaming guests would prepare for the worst, only to find the car floating like a boat as Johnson laughed maniacally. Note to self, maybe don't carpool with LBJ. In 1952, long before Watergate, Richard Nixon faced a minor scandal over accepting political gifts. To clear his name, he gave a now-famous national speech, where he wept while mentioning one such gift, a black and white puppy named Checkers. He promised, regardless of what they say, we're going to keep him. The scandal deflated, but Nixon unintentionally set a new standard for emotional dog-related speeches in politics. In 2009, Barack Obama proved that no task was beneath him or above his reflexes. During a live interview, a buzzing fly annoyed the president mid-sentence. Without missing a beat, he swatted it dead with his bare hand and kept talking. A ninja move? Absolutely. Peda's response? Less thrilled. From dueling pistols to haunted hallways and aquatic joyrides, the lives of U.S. presidents prove that sometimes history is stranger, and way funnier, than fiction. Who knew running a country could come with this much chaos and comedic relief?